I mean, there's debate about whether the federal government's budget that it just handed down was inflationary, whether it will contribute to rate rises going up more than they would have in the second half of this year. Do you have a view on that?
Yeah, I have a view on it, and it's probably mildly contributive. In other words, it might have a mild effect on it, but I don't think it's going to be in anywhere able to change the interest rate regime that's actually going to have the major effect on anyone with debt. So all the money that they're giving to people who need the money. So I think that part of it's quite right. So they're a government. I mean, governments are here to government. They're here to provide welfare where welfare is needed. So I don't really have an issue around that. And it's not like we need to withdraw all the liquidity out of the market and just go for a straight surplus. Governments need to give a bit of money back. So I don't really have a problem with it.
I think it's so interesting to hear your view on the RBA raising rates too quickly, because most economists I speak to on this program say they were too slow to start raising rates. But I suppose your point is that it's happened in that's happened in quick succession, which has had, a shock, I suppose, for a lot of people who have home loans. Now, just quickly want to ask you about the US debt ceiling. This is going to be a global issue if the Republicans and Democrats can't come to an agreement on whether to raise the debt ceiling before it defaults, before the so-called X date. How worried are you about this?
Well, I've been through this process a number of times. I've seen this happen a number of times, and at the end of the day, it'd be a pretty brave Republican and/or a Democrat not to reach an agreement on the debt ceiling. Because what are they going to send the US dollar into a free fall? They're going to send the US economy into a free fall. They're going to send the whole world into a free fall. It'd be very brave politics for someone to do this. My feeling is that the last minute, like they did last time we went through this process, that they'll reach an agreement. It'll be some form of compromise. So am I worried that they won't reach an agreement? I'm not worried they will not reach an agreement. Am I worried that this gamesmanship that they're playing it does have an effect on markets right now? Definitely. It definitely has an effect on markets right now. Liquidity is at risk. Pricing's quite high. Anyone who needs to raise money right at the moment is raising it at a higher price or a premium price because they're paying the, this so-called risk factor that's being employed into the pricing of money. So if I'm lending you money, I'm lending you, billions of dollars. I'm going to say to you, first up, listen, I'm a bit worried about the US debt crisis. So I'm going to have to charge you more just in case they don't reach an agreement.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all this rhetoric.